And here we go. We have liftoff. Propulsion continues to be nominal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Following up. Roger, roll, Atlantis.
Water towers fly! Yes!
Payload down to nominal.
Fighting downside SPD off. Bring in SPD off. It's orange!
R45! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage.
What is it?
Put that in the big bag,
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
If there's methane to be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. Keep red. We don't need any more of these.
Hello and welcome to another NSF live stream. I'd say that you're looking at a Falcon 9 standing tall at Slick 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida, but it's a little bit foggy tonight. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. As a West Coaster, I'm just going to start off by saying, yes, Vandenberg can be foggy sometimes. This isn't Vandenberg. This is Kennedy Space Center and Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. I have a feeling, I'm just going to start right off, I have a feeling my lovely coworkers and co-commentators are going to try and make light of the fact that Vandenberg
What do you mean?
is foggy and that it's foggy now at Kennedy Space Center. I don't know, I just have a feeling. I just have a feeling, Alex.
I'm
Joining us,
gonna be so
joining us
polite
on
to you.
commentary is Alex. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm not gonna mention it. No. Oh, it's foggy, just like in Vandenberg, right?
That's so funny, Alex. That's so
Uh.
funny.
Yeah, right.
What's launching tonight, Alex?
Well, there's another batch of Starlink satellites. This one is carrying a mix of direct-to-cell satellites and regular V2 mini satellites. In total, there are 21 of them. 8 are V2 mini satellites, and 13 of them are direct-to-cell.
Nice. Well, thanks for joining us on commentary. I might rescind that thanks as the stream goes on. We'll see what happens. But also joining us, we have D-Wise out in the field. D-Wise, how do we have you?
Hopefully loud and clear. It's weird to be joining for a West Coast stream, though.
That's so funny, D. That's so funny. That's really funny. See, all of you didn't have to live the entire start of your rocket covering careers in Fogtown, and so it's like a fun joke for you. It's like, tee-hee, Vandenberg foggy. You didn't spend hundreds of dollars to put cameras at InSight, the first ever interplanetary launch from the West Coast, only to have it be fogged out. You don't even see an orange glow. You don't know the pain of fog.
Hey, Jack,
Hi.
I've got another one. When you were there, it was also when Vandenberg was low cadence. This is the 10th launch out of the Cape this year.
Why do you want to hurt me? Do you?
Hey everybody, I'm doing the tweets today, and I want to quickly come in. Did I get the coast wrong? This looks like Vandenberg.
Also, operating
Adrian.
today's stream, we have Carson. You saw Carson's info pop up there. You don't have to worry about this person's info. They're nobody worth following. No, I'm kidding. That was Adrian's info. I can't even be that mean to Adrian. I love you, buddy. Even though you're all being mean to me, I have no idea why. What did I do? What did I do? Who did I wrong?
Nobody, but we love it.
All right. Well, chat, if you have any questions about tonight's very foggy launch, be sure to @ NASA Spaceflight and type it into chat. You know the drill. You know how we do things around here. All right. Well, let's just jump right in. D, as the person there with boots on the ground, do you think we'll be able to see anything tonight?
Well, before I go into seeing anything, I feel like we should talk about the odds of launch and the weather. which, as far as weather goes for launches, it is actually really, really good. The 45th Weather Squadron has only a 5% probability of violating the weather constraints and no primary concerns at all. Um, with that said, they also say that visibility is between a half mile and 3 miles, and we are about 4.5 miles away from the pad. And I think a half mile is closer to the truth there. So this fog has been rolling through all night, basically. It's gone from the VAB being mostly visible to entirely invisible at times. And we might not see too much, but I'm holding out hope. But I am hoping for some wonderful sound as we get closer to a T0 in about 52 minutes.
You think maybe orange glow? Think maybe you'll see an orange glow or no?
I don't want to be a downer with my predictions, so I will stay quiet on that question. I think we'll just wait and see.
If you see an orange glow, all your silly Vandenberg jokes are moot. That doesn't count. You still saw something. So we'll have to see what happens.
We will indeed.
What's your worst fog experience ever?
I said it at the top of the show. It was Insight. I spent so much money on gear for Insight. I was trying to shoot slow-mo. At the time, I didn't have a camera. Right now, I own 2 cameras that can shoot slow-mo. At the time, I had to rent one, plus a big EcoFlow battery. The little jump battery, kind of those didn't exist. So I had to rent a big fancy actual film battery from a rental house and have insurance. I spent so much money on Insight, and it was completely fogged. The press area, they took us to an extra close press area, and there was not even a red glow. It hurt. It happens though, it's just the way. If it was easy, then when the successes wouldn't feel quite so good. And because of Insight, I knew exactly where to point my camera for my Atlas V engine shot. That's one of my favorite photos I've ever taken. So, it works out sometimes. What about you guys? What do you got?
Okay, so my worst fog experience was USSF 44. That was my first Falcon Heavy that I was up close to see, and I did not see it one bit. It was foggy enough that the remote cameras that we had around the pad also did not see it lift off. It was... I don't think a single person here at the press site was actively holding their camera at the time of liftoff. There was no chance that we were going to see anything. That was a morning launch where the fog just stayed around in the morning, and so we were all just looking around. Then we heard the sound, and we were all just like, "All right, well, I guess that happened." But maybe our remotes. We were holding out a little bit of hope for our remotes because we could see the SpaceX cameras on the pad. They saw a little bit, and we were hopeful. That hope was misplaced, however.
That's devastating, honestly.
I
By the way, I linked the Atlas V shot that Jack mentioned in chat. In case my parents have that on the wall, by the way.
That's I don't know that I'll ever take a better photo than that. Just because I had to point the camera blind. They hadn't rolled back the mobile access structure, so I was literally pointing at a building, not at a rocket. Which for a super zoomed in shot like that is kind of insane. But it worked out, and you can see the other side of the nozzle through the film cooling. I love that shot.
I honestly think it's a really, really, really good shot.
Thanks, man. I have another bad fog experience. Chat reminded me. Thank you, chat. SN11.
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention 2 things. I almost saw my first rocket launch ever being completely occupied by fog, because if you remember the first flight of Starship Jack, we had very high fog concerns until 5 minutes before liftoff, where it got burned away. But until 5 minutes before T0, the hotel couldn't see anything.
Yeah, no, you got lucky because at River, Flight 1 was just bloop, straight into a cloud. But
Yep.
at Hotel, Flight 1, like it came out of the clouds, and you were able to see it do a Kerbal, as Doss so eloquently put it.
Yep.
But yeah, that could have been very bad for you. I'm glad it worked out for you though. But yeah,
I would have been so
SN11
mad.
SN11 was rough, man. I had a new girlfriend, and I convinced her to come out and be here for a launch, and like tried to explain to her why I do this crazy
These
thing
are the
that I
perks
do.
of watching a live stream at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, and that it did not go. None of it went well.
Oh
Um,
no.
anyway,
Sorry.
let me thank some people. Carla Barnes, thanks for becoming a PadRat member. Ramraj, thanks for the super chat, and Chromatic Order gifting a Red Team membership. Thank you all so much, helping us keep the lights on over here. Wow.
So,
Okay. Wait. Is it clearing up?
so not too much in the direction of the pad right now or the direction of the VAB, but across the turn basin here, I 100% could not see any of those lights just a bit earlier. So we are this fog has been very patchy all night. So we are at the very least in an open spot in the fog right now, which I mean, it's great to see. Hopefully this trend continues and maybe we will all eat our words about the fog tonight. But it is so much clearer than it was even 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. This
Okay,
ain't
so
this ain't Vandenberg. You can pack up all your little cutesy Vandenberg jokes and go home. This ain't nothing.
I have a question for the field, namely D. Is that blue thing in our feed right now? Is that the gantry, or is 39A?
I'm
There's a
trying
blue
to
thing.
get reference.
It's
Yeah,
that
it
light.
has a
He's
blue
talking about
light.
the light immediately to the left
Yeah.
of the flag.
Yeah.
So that would, from my perspective, it's ever so slightly to the right, but that would be the gantry.
Neat.
Oh, so we cannot see 39A then.
No.
We still cannot, and those two are shockingly close together. Like the same way, I turn around, I cannot see the VAB still, but I
Wow.
can see
So-
farther than the VAB over at the turn basin.
So
Wow.
Jack, I'm afraid to say this is still Vandenberg territory.
Why did I even try? Alex, hopefully we have some time here for things to continue to clear up, but like where you want to walk us through where we're at in the timeline and how much time we hopefully have the next 45 minutes or so for this to clear up a little?
Well, if they're still targeting 5:15 a.m. Eastern, the timeline right now is they're still doing all of the pre-flight stuff, the checks and everything. One of the things coming up soon will be the opening of that go-no-go poll for operators, and that usually wraps up at T-minus 38 minutes with the launch director verifying whether they are go for propellant load or not. If they are go, and we hope they are, because it's quite late at night, let's be honest, at T-minus 35 minutes, so basically in 10 minutes from now, we're going to have that start of propellant load, and that'll begin loading RP1 on both stages, that kerosene fuel, and then liquid oxygen on the first stage. So that's more or less where we are right now. Still some more 10 minutes away from that propellant load.
Can I bring up some horror scenarios here, Jack? Jack is muted.
You're making him suffer.
I said,
You
oh
know that,
no,
right?
go ahead, but I was muted.
So-
So, oh no, go ahead.
Things we will not be able to spot here, right? We will not be able to spot the T-minus 20 minute vent. We will
Right.
not be able to spot propellant loading. And
Right.
sometimes SpaceX is really bad about updating their website. So I'm just gonna say it. We
Right.
will have zero confirmation if the launch goes at 5:15 until we see or hear anything.
Which could be as late as what? 5:10. What does SpaceX go live? Like 5 minutes before?
Yep.
Sometimes. Most of the
this
time.
could-
Sometimes.
I'm now
Someone saying-
thinking about my favorite like chat copy pasta from Twitch. It's like, oh man, I have overslept the stream, but I'm so looking forward to join the NSF stream and watch my favorite T-minus 20 minute vent. It would be a bummer if it wouldn't be there today.
Solid Tank in chat saying this is going to teach us to appreciate being able to see the frost.
It's true. You know.
West Coast vibes are super strong tonight, aren't they?
Ooh,
Max!
look is here.
I don't recall even introducing you, Max. That means you're not
Hello,
allowed to say
everybody.
anything.
Well, you're on comms, or you're hosting, Jack. So I feel a special right to come on and especially trash talk the West Coast as hard as possible. But I
Aren't you
spent the
going there to
last
shoot? Aren't you going there to shoot Spherex?
hopefully if the
Didn't you
timeline of
just
other
text
events
me in the
works out.
last 24 to 36 hours? I want to go to Mojave. Didn't you literally text me like those exact words in the last less than a day?
Yeah, last I checked, Mojave is not Vandenberg, Jack. The sigh of
Ouch.
defeat. It's okay. But I just spent the last about 45 minutes driving around the northern part of Merritt Island and Titusville to see if the fog was lightening up at all and to see if we had any view of the sky. And unfortunately, what the Mark 1 eyeballs were telling me was visibility was no bueno. And all the weather apps that I have been checking were stating that visibility out toward the horizon from our perspective here, or at least out in Titusville, where I was by the Max Brewer, visibility was around 1 mile. So that's obviously suboptimal, especially if you want to go watch a rocket launch.
Try harder, Max. Get better
I
So
will get
Max,
in contact with my people. Yes, Adrian.
So you said visibility is 1 mile. I just want to get a perspective of how close we are to see this rocket. How far is the rocket away again?
So from the press site to Slick 40 is about 4.2 or 3 miles. Yeah, so definitely not within the range of visibility, at least here on the ground. Now, the fog obviously above our heads is going to get thinner, but I don't know exactly how thick the layer of fog is and how high it goes. So visibility for this one is definitely a big question mark. Certainly top 2 or 3 foggy mission days or launch days that I have seen here so far.
Thank you for the report from the field, Max. We appreciate you driving around looking for a hole in the fog.
Just trying to make you happy, Jack.
Dude, don't just lie on air. Let's do some questions. Let's do some viewer questions, and keep them coming, y'all. I see some good ones popping up. Supersonic Retro Propulsion, great name, says, does the air density or fog have any meaningful impact on Falcon 9's performance? Air density, I don't know. Fog, I would say almost certainly not. Although, I mean, D, you can speak to this for sure. The fog does tend to make for really nice audio, at least. It's not really like a performance thing, but...
Yeah, so clouds and fog do tend to have somewhat varied impacts on the sound that you hear. So if you have like a low cloud layer, that helps reflect the sound back to you, and that'll definitely increase its volume. When it's fog, it's a little bit more up in the air as to what exactly we are going to see, or hear rather. Um, like at a certain point, it might decrease the amount of sound, but also it is 100% humidity out, as you can see from the lack of a visible VAB behind me.
Hey, it's great for your hair, though.
So we'll have to wait and see, but the humidity and fog in the air certainly have an impact on the sound.
Yeah, if I may elaborate on that a little bit. Yeah, usually thicker humid air helps the sound carry a lot better, but there comes to be a point where the amount of moisture in clouds in the atmosphere at some point begin to serve as sort of a sound suppression system similar to what we see on all the launch pads. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. What do those all flow? Water. So, and there is obviously a ton of water and a ton of moisture in the atmosphere tonight. So, I'm not quite sure where we are in terms of where that threshold is in terms of either helping the volume reach us or soaking up all the sound before it gets here, or most of it. We will have to wait and see.
Wait and see, or wait and not see.
That's actually a good point.
Density is also a factor because, since it's filled with helium, it can float better if it's denser.
We should also quickly address this because people are joining late here, because people are thinking, oh, this will be a scrub, right? No, this is actually not bothering the rocket at all.
Otherwise,
have
they would
a-
never launch from Vandenberg. So
Oh my god. Oh my god. We have another question here related. Melody J is asking, so why do they delay launches when the weather is bad, but they can launch when it's foggy? It makes no sense. It's because there's different types of weather and there's different types of constraints. The fog, as Adrian just said, does not hurt the rocket, right? However, if there's some crazy amount of wind shear at 40,000 feet that the rocket's going to fly through, and it's like hitting a wall of air that's moving 100 miles an hour in a completely different direction, that could seriously mess with the rocket. But it's like crystal clear on the ground. You know, they're not going to launch in that. If there's lightning or what any of a number of other constraints, it's just not how that works, right?
Yeah,
Alex?
usual. Oh, good.
You're not Alex. You're not even supposed to be here.
yeah, this is my
Yeah,
show.
But I want to talk, but Alex is smarter than me, so let Alex talk.
No, I mean it is true that visibility. Why would you care about visibility, right? The rocket flies automatically, and it doesn't need any cameras or anything. The cameras are for just for engineering purposes, so that the engineers can see things. But it's not even a primary thing. Like they also have thousands of sensors across the rocket. Like the cameras is just more like helping engineers monitor things. And so if they don't see it for like the first 1 minute, because that's how fog affects the rocket's trajectory, just for the first minute of the flight. After that, or even less than that, like even 10 seconds or something like that, right? Like as soon as it passes 1 minute, it's already 10, 12 kilometers. That's already well above all of the weather things that you see usually. And at that altitude, as you mentioned, Jack, the things that you worry about are things like shear, the wind speeds and everything. Even the direction sometimes might also affect as well, because it might depend on which direction. For example, if for whatever reason they were to have to trigger the FTS, for example, then some of those debris could land inland and things like that, because the wind makes them go inland or something like that. But yeah, in general, the visibility is not a concern. If there's fog, who cares? The rocket can fly itself just as easy. But yeah, everything else though, as you mentioned, wind, precipitation, thick clouds, all that stuff can affect the conditions for the rocket to fly. Fog is not one of those.
Thanks, Alex. Speaking of the rocket flying, do we want to talk about trajectory, or is that just a cruel, cruel joke on a foggy night like this?
Hey, maybe those that are away from the fog may be able to see something, right?
Yeah, so let's talk about it. Where's it going? Where's this puppy going?
It's going to the southeast. These Group 12 missions are going to a 43-degree inclination orbit, which means they go to the southeast. And those, you can see there, if you're in the Bahamas, for example, maybe you don't have fog there. You might want to have a look at the launch. Maybe further south of the Cape, there's no fog, and you can look at the launch. There's multiple options. Even if you are to the north, you may still be able to see something if you look south. But that's the trajectory for today's launch. Of course, the second stage will also be going into that orbit, and then it's going to do a deorbit burn and re-enter over the Indian Ocean there, as you can see on that track. But we have something to show later. I don't know if Carson has it queued, but there's a perk, I guess, of being here late at night on a foggy stream.
You just I have that. I have the message here that tells me about the perk that I was supposed to talk about at a certain time.
Oh, that's the other perk. There's two perks.
There's two perks?
Yeah.
What's the other perk?
Ooh, you'll see. It's also related with trajectories.
Ooh, interesting.
It's a new thing we've been working on.
The only thing that could have possibly made this launch worse from a you guys trolling me perspective is if it was Southern Polar Corridor, which it's not in your face.
Well, technically, going to the southeast, it's using the Southern Polar Corridor.
That's not the Southern Polar Corridor.
It's just not going into a polar orbit.
Yeah,
they will not be able to do that one, though, without that corridor. This mission will not be possible. They will have to go northeast. Just saying.
It's also worth noting that you can actually fly polar from the Cape now, as we are going to see with the From 2 mission flying a crew on a polar launch trajectory in your face, Vandenberg.
I don't remember asking, Max.
He really said in your face, wow.
Me and
What
some
face? You cannot see it. It's foggy.
Oh, true, Alex. That's a great point. Thank you.
I have
Hey,
no
by the
idea
way,
what to
in
even say.
theory, Falcon 9 is in prop load.
Yeah, this would
Can
be
you-
about the
let's-
time where we would see frost and we would know
Yeah.
that they're in prop load, or we would know that it's not in prop load and we're in for a very long night because the series of opportunities in the window extends many more hours. But we don't know any of that because it's foggy. Like Vandenberg. Ha ha ha. That's so funny.
Let's zoom in and to spot the fog.
The froxt.
The frog?
Yeah, the frog. You need to. That's the rule of Falcon 9 launch. You need to spot a frog, and then it's go for launch.
Oh, these late night Starlinks do be hitting different, folks. Am I right?
Yep, we are all
Who
losing our
who
mind.
are you talking to?
Everyone who's not on the West Coast.
Who's folks? Oh, okay, fine. You know, me and some West Coasters, we're gonna roll up to your house one day, Max, and have a lovely chat and some tea.
At least you'll be able to see my house because it won't be fogged over.
Oh my
Jesus.
god! Oh my god!
Should make finding the neighborhood super easy.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
Snot Garden, thank you so much for gifting 5 Red Team memberships. I am seething right now.
No mercy.
I'm seething.
No mercy.
Why? I thought we were friends. Turtle Sanctuary, thank you for the super chat. They say, trying to think of a good question so we can hear Alex talk some more. So somebody say smart things. Go. Alex, tell us about the booster.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna tell you about the booster, and then I have the one of the special perks of being here late at night. So today's booster is B1069, very nice booster. It's flying for a 21st time on this mission. It's actually doing a very slow turnaround time because it's a 74-day turnaround time. But as you can see there, it's already performed 20 missions. It has all of those in its belt. CRS 24, everybody remember that one? That was a very interesting one with the landing legs crushed and everything. Fortunately survived, but yeah. Starlink 423, Hotbird 13F, OneWeb 15, Starlink 5.3, SES 18 and 19, Starlink 5.6, 5.12, 6.9, 6.19, 6.28, 6.36, 6.39, 6.47, 6.57, 10.1, 10.9, 8.10, 10.8, and 6.66.
Bingo.
The booster will be, yeah, you can make a song about that, right, Adrian? The booster, of course, it's old, but it's going to be recovered either way because it's going to launch more times. And this one is going to be landing on Just Read the Instructions. This is the one with a water deluge, so look out for that whenever this launches. And the fairings, one of the interesting things. We do know the fairing halves for this mission. They are serial number 200 and serial number 185. The fairing halves, the serial number 200, will be launching for a 17th time on this mission, and serial number 185 will be launching for a 24th time, which, as far as we know, that's the most launches for a fairing half so far. And those two are going to be recovered by fairing recovery vessel Doug out there in the Atlantic. But you know what? I have more technical stuff. So, this app we have new things. We have new features. So I recorded this a few hours ago. You can see there because it's showing T-minus 2 hours and 21 minutes.
To be clear, the app is Next Spaceflight.
Yes.
You didn't say the name. You didn't.
Because you always, yeah. Let me do the bit. So we have this new thing called Mission Control. And this is coming up next week. It's still in private beta, but next week we're going to have a public beta of this, and it shows a simulation of the trajectory for both the booster and the second stage. You can see there, and you can even play it. You can toy with it in a 2D way, 3D way. You can look at the trajectory and everything. Look at it in live view and things like that. So shout out to Oliver and all of the developers at the Nexus Spaceflight app, because they've been working on integrating this, and also to Flight Club. As you can see there's the logo for Flight Club. We have that integration on the app to so thanks also to Declan because he made the Flight Club, and you can see there that simulation of the trajectory for the booster, and you can also switch to the second stage if you wish. And so this might help you whenever you ask us, oh, where is it going? You can know ahead of time if you go to the app next to Spaceflight. And again, this is still in private beta, but next week we're going to go public with that beta. And again, as all betas, it's still in development, right? So if you spot any issues with that, once it's live, don't forget to submit your feedback as usual. But that's sort of one of the new features that we're going to be having on the app.
Heck yeah, I love it. And if you guys don't know, Flight Club is also a really good utility if you're trying to plan rocket photography or what have you. That integration to the next spaceflight app though is sick. I'm excited to use that. You know what I'm excited also for is all of you to get a taste of a foggy launch.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, like once probably.
And we're going to
No.
enjoy it too.
Remember,
That's it.
I've watched pretty much every single Falcon 9 live stream since, I don't know, 2015 or something. So it's been over 400 or something like that. And so that includes many foggy live streams. You know from where? From
Doesn't count.
Vandenberg.
Doesn't count. Does not count. I meant in person.
I'm trying to, I'm always having these moments where I think I see a rocket in the fog, but then I notice, no, I don't see a rocket in
There's
the fog.
no way. No,
There-
you would know.
To hop back in with a little bit of a weather update, while on the wide shot we could see across the turn basin a bit earlier, we cannot see across the turn basin one bit right now. It is much denser fog once again. We can hardly see the base of the VAB. So the air is really thick and also quite full of mosquitoes right now. The mosquitoes are out in quite full force at the moment.
You know what I heard helps is if you spread honey on your skin. I think that keeps the mosquitoes away.
That's just cruel.
All right, moving on. Johan is asking, but if no one can see the rocket, how do we really know it's there until we can see it? Isn't it like the cat in the box dilemma?
It isn't.
There simultaneously is and isn't a Falcon 9 about to launch.
It's being
right
entangled with the fog, and so the fog just makes it appear. It's okay.
now. Thanks, Alex.
Also, Falcon
Yeah.
9 is in a superposition between being in the fog and not being in the fog.
Falcon 9's entangled with the fog, like me, for real, for real.
Yeah, it's entangled
have
with
to
the
say-
environment.
I've been saying how patchy this fog has been. So for all we know, Falcon 9 itself is not in fog right now. There could be a really clear area for a mile around the pad,
Yeah,
but the fog is so thick for the 3 miles before that point that we just can't see it.
that's possible. That's
I think
true.
that is wishful thinking at its finest right now.
Well, I mean, right now D is right next to the turn basin, right? Which is a large body of water, which retains heat. I don't know how meteorology works. I am not a meteoronomer, but
There's also a big
could-
body of water near the launch pad, Jack. It's called the Atlantic Ocean.
you're a big body of water.
I mean, technically, that is also correct. Max is mostly water.
That's right.
Oh.
Amiga Clone is asking, has there been any announcement as to the mass of the direct-to-cell Starlinks? I'm looking at you, Alex.
Yeah. I have fog in between though, so you cannot see me. But
Wow.
yeah, right. We're having so much fun in this stream. But one of the things that we do know is the V2 mini satellite mass, at least the optimized version. So at the end of 2024, there was this report from Starlink talking about all of the things that they had done in 2024. And there was this part where they said something along the lines of in 2024, we optimized the V2 mini satellite with reduction in mass and increase in capability and blah, 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 blah. All this business stuff as usual, because of course it's a business and so they need to promote themselves. And one of the things that they said was that the V2 Mini, they were able to reduce, I think it was in 25% the mass, while also increasing the capabilities. And so now it's like 565 kilograms, they said. Problem is, we don't know the direct-to-cell satellite, because even though it's based on the satellite bus of the V2 Mini, it's the same size, shape, roughly, right? And it also has 2 solar panels, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have the Q and K-band antennas that communicate with the
Starlink ground
the
stations.
Starlink, yeah, the ground stations and also the user terminals. Because the way that the direct-to-cell satellites work, instead of having those antennas, it has an LTE antenna, and then they can increase that area of the antenna by having another deployable antenna. So that works as a uniform, one single bigger antenna. And so, in fact, you can see some of the hinges for the deployable antenna on these direct-to-cell satellites, which means it might actually be a lot heavier because it has, deployable things and everything. And the way that it works, again, it communicates with your phone on the ground with that LTE antenna, the deployable one, the fixed one, and everything, and then it connects to the Starlink constellation via laser links, and that way it can then get to the other end of your messages, whatever you're doing. Obviously, right now it's just texting. They're trying to get also voice calls and whatever, but it's a bit more hard right now. And so that's one of the big problems. The V2 Minis, we know 565 kilograms optimized version and whatnot. The direct-to-cell, it's very likely to be more heavier. More heavier? No, heavier. That's it.
All right.
And
Well,
tell me what made it. Oh, okay.
I mean, no, you're good. It makes sense that they, might be heavier given the fact that they need a big honking antenna to communicate with cell phones from space.
Yep. Someone just saying 20-minute fog.
It's the 20-minute fog. Adrian, tell us about the 20-minute fog. Does Adrian leave? Did Adrian bail?
No,
He
I was
probably did.
I was
'Cause he's
actually
Adrian Bile. He's not supposed to
Hello.
be Adrian Bale.
I was actually muted so I can record you talking about a 10 and 20-minute fog so I can tweet it. So now I'm in a situation where I have to divert this question to somebody else. Who wants to talk about this so I can record it to tweet?
I can do that.
Thank you.
By the way, I can see there another person. Is that Max? Probably.
Alex, tell us about the T-minus 20-minute vent, which we cannot
Yeah,
see right now
so
thanks to fog.
The T-minus 20-minute vent is a really brilliant vent that they use to chill down the line to the second stage. So in about 4 minutes from now, they're going to be loading liquid oxygen on the second stage, and that's a very cold liquid. And so the line that goes from the Stromback up to the second stage, that needs to be chilled down so that there's no thermal shock and blah blah blah. And one of the things that you will usually see or hear from the field right now is that as the vent progresses, you can see the wind and everything. But unfortunately, we cannot see the vent. But you know where you can actually see how the wind blows? There's a flag there on that pole, that US flag. It's very still. I don't know if maybe somebody from the field.
Sorry, I have been adjusting some things. Max and I were talking. Yeah, the wind is quite still. I think that is part of what's making this fog as heavy as it has been, because it's not rushing through here. It's just lingering. So it is certainly a unique morning for a launch.
That's
Yeah,
in
the air
fact-
is about as stagnant as it gets here. I mean, the flag by the countdown clock is pretty dead, and there is not a breeze of any kind coming through here. So that's why the fog's hanging around for so long and so low. Wow, the VAB is almost gone. It's basically completely gone. That is impressive, actually.
Wow, look at that.
That's a lot of fog.
And in fact, I usually, This is again. I should reiterate here. This is not a jab at Vandenberg, but there used to be this sort of recurring joke that when the weather was good at Vandenberg and therefore it was good for a launch, that used to be foggy precisely because it was good weather. If it was windy, then the fog will fly away essentially with a wind blowing it off, and then you will have clear skies, clear weather, and everything. But then, unfortunately, you will probably have to scrub because high liftoff winds or high upper level winds and stuff like that. And so it's usually that kind of thing where if you have the fog, most likely you have a very still air and it's not blowing it off. So it's good conditions for a launch.
Just not seeing a launch necessarily.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it goes. 17 minutes and change, counting down. We have no idea if they're even in prop load yet because we can't see anything. This is a fun one.
It sure is a fun one. I'm excited for this launch. Aren't you all excited for this?
I'm so excited.
Hey, we're here for the ride, right? Whatever we see, we see. I'm not curious. What are we going to see in 17 minutes? I'm legit curious about that.
I am too. Like, I feel like we should almost even have a poll in chat. Like, do we think we'll see the rocket pop out of the fog?
Ooh, Adrian.
Do we think we'll see
I'm moving it.
a red glow? Do we think we'll see nothing at all?
Give me a
Wesley
second.
Hale is asking, would there be any fog inside the vehicle assembly building?
Maybe.
Fog assembly building.
Isn't it big enough that it sort of has its own weather in there?
Yes.
That's just something they say to everyone who's passing through. It's not
Yeah.
actually true.
It has its own fog. It has its own
but
fog. No, it's true.
I mean, I can't imagine the doors are a perfect seal, especially with how old they are now. So I would not doubt if any fog has made it inside any of the 4 high bays or the transfer aisle at this point. I would actually love to find out.
Or maybe if they have heaters or things like that, maybe it burns off as it goes in. I don't know.
That would make sense. Yeah, now I want to know. That's a good question.
We should throw a question out to the exploration ground systems and tell them, hey, do you have fog inside of the VAV? Someone call Phillips Loss.
Dude's walking around with a wrench inside the VAB, and he's like, "Now, where the heck did that rocket go?"
They stole the SLS.
Let's see. Rainier is asking, will fog amplify or dampen the sound? We talked about that a little bit earlier. Sometimes it seems to have an amplifying effect. Sometimes it seems to dampen it. Right, Max?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth noting that the substance that we see flowing out of any of these sound suppression water systems, whether it be for Falcon, Atlas Vulcan, the space shuttle, any vehicle really, including Starship, is water. And water is used because as it flashes to steam, all the water molecules absorb all of the heat and shock energy emitted from any engine that it is being exposed to, thus dampening the sound and easing up the wear and damage on whatever launch structure the vehicle is launching from. So similarly to that, a humid atmosphere carries the sound a lot better in this part of the Space Center, but at the same time, there is a trade-off at some point with there being too much moisture in the atmosphere to where at that point the water in the atmosphere acts as a sort of sound suppression water system on its own. So tonight, I really don't know. I hope it doesn't suppress it too bad, but with how thick the fog is and how humid it is, I can't really say my hopes are high.
Welp. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I never say never. The poll is fairly optimistic. The poll thinks, 70% of the people are saying we'll see an orange glow.
I mean, we had a launch similar to this last year. Before, actually, I think it was before D came on the team. It was right after sunset or right around there. It was an evening launch. and we had fog, not quite to this level. I mean, it wasn't this thick or this low, but it was thick enough to where I think we actually canceled our stream and just threw everything to Space Coast Live. And we did end up seeing a bit of an orange glow come through the fog, and then a bit of the flame come out as it began to ascend into the thinner parts of it. But it is super thick tonight. I'm honestly not sure.
I think we're not going to see an orange glow. Maybe we see the rocket ascend or something after it gets out of the fog, but probably not. I think we'll see nothing.
Not with that attitude.
13 minutes to go. I'm putting my chips on the table on the little spot that says nothing. But you know what? For everyone that is out there hanging out with us right now, let's see how many people are watching. Wow, 1,600, 1,700 people watching. Only 90 likes? That can't be real. For everyone out there that is a true hardcore rocket fan, we do have a code. We have a special code. I suspect that Adrian and y'all did this on purpose. The code is Vandencape. VANDENCAPE. It'll give you a 10% off a one-time purchase on something from the store. So yeah, it's you know, a little something for all you dedicated rocket nerds out there. Hey, go to the print. Go to the print of the Atlas. We talked about it earlier. Where's the print? Also, Max, that straight shot with the dish is sick, by the way, Max.
And if you go to the print section, you can select by Jack Buyer.
Oh, look at
in
that.
the top left.
It's a fairly old shot, so there you go, right there. Bam. That's what we were talking about earlier. Metal print, get 10% off. Use the code Vandencape, or buy one of Max's prints, or buy one of D's prints, because the photographer gets a cut of the sale, which is really rad. Either way, thank you all for hanging out with us, and looking at the fog. But yeah, code Vandencape. Good to the end of the stream. Yeah, you happy, Alex? Are you happy how that went? You've been waiting all stream. You've been waiting all stream for that, huh?
I kind of was, yeah.
I put the name in.
Yeah, but that was Adrian's doing.
Yeah, I mean, he has to get revenge for the spiders. I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a few open.
Everybody DM Jack photos of fog.
No, why would you do that? Who would do something like that? Revhead, thank you for gifting 5 Red Team memberships. That is so evil, Alex.
Add the Jack Buyer on Twitter.
No.
Yeah, show him like your best fog pictures.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack, don't worry. I am going to have a slow-mo replay for you after this launch.
Thanks, Steve.
Nice.
He's gonna see so much fog. He's gonna feel like he's in Silent Hill.
Jack really wants to be in Silent Hill.
Yep.
I wish it was silent right now and it wasn't hearing your voices.
Now that's just rude. That is Vanden rude right there.
I don't recall Vanden asking.
We still have not any confirmation, by the way, from SpaceX that they're in prop load. We have no idea what will happen in 10 minutes from now.
10 minutes to go to question mark, because we can't see the rocket and we have no confirmation from SpaceX until they go live. Whee!
Yes, we indeed.
Well, the website still says that they're targeting 5:15, so either they haven't updated it or they're still targeting 5:15.
There was this one cursed one that would be the worst case today, where they confirmed the launch has happened. They didn't go live. Nothing proper happened, and they confirmed it first time happening, I think 10 minutes after the launch. So there are worse cases that could hit us today.
You know what? It would be the most Vandenberg thing if it launched and the stream didn't start until like T plus 60 seconds.
You don't even know what a Vandenberg thing is, Max. You've never even been there.
Someone sounds awfully salty right now. I can't imagine why.
Collie001 is asking. I can't even. Collie001 is asking, do you hear any venting sounds? Any mics close to the pad? ?
Well, we are 4.5 miles away, and it takes the conditions being right for us to clearly hear those venting sounds, and that normally means like a slight breeze in our direction. I there is no breeze, and I have not heard any venting sounds, but admittedly, I have had my headphones on, so I might have missed something.
I've had one
Alright.
ear out the whole time, and I have not heard a peep.
Dang. Well, keep your ears open.
I think one of the moments in the countdown where I mean, I'm not talking about this about myself, my own experience, because I've not been there, but I've heard multiple times from Max, D, and other people in the field. Sometimes they hear a really loud vent right before propellant load starts, and that's at T-minus 37 minutes. And that's when, they vent all of the tanks to be able to then start the fueling and everything. That's the only time I've heard, at least, that you can really hear the venting. I think the usual vents that occur as they fuel, they are probably not as loud, because it's like, just a bit of a piff, piff every now and then. And
Sorry, a
that's-
what?
it's just a poof, poof every single time. Every few minutes.
Well, first time you said biff, biff, then you said poof, poof. Which one is it?
It's I don't know.
Wow. I can
piff,
see where
piff,
this is
poof,
going.
Poof, puff, puff.
Are Falcon 9 sounds only allowed to be communicated in doubles, or what's happening here
Yes.
now?
I'm not sure.
I don't
I'm trying
know.
to get to the bottom of it here.
I think it's also worth noting that we can only hear that from either the ITL Causeway or
Yeah.
from Loop Road over on the Cape Canaveral Space Force side, not from the press side.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody got a print. That's awesome. It's a New Glenn print, looks like.
Yeah, so blue. All the new
Which
Glenn
one?
prints are so blue.
It's so great. I don't know which one, Max. Probably yours. Let's see. Willem. It was Willem. Thank you, Willem. They got a Max print and a Tyler print. So yes, Max, it was one of yours. They say, great prints. Keep it up with all the stuff you guys do. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Thank you, Willem. Oh my gosh, 6 minutes to go and we have no idea what's going on. What do we even do?
We talk
Yeah,
about rockets.
so we should be 6 minutes away, which means engines are already in chill down. They have wrap up RP1 load on the first stage. We're getting ready for the last few minutes of the countdown, which is, the final wrap up of liquid oxygen load on the first and second stage. The Stromback retracts, but yeah, we're still.
Yeah, this is for everybody who plays D&D. This is the prime lesson about what theater of the mind is about. For the people who don't know, in D&D you usually have battle maps to emphasize your battles, and you'll have minis and stuff. But sometimes you just do theater of your mind. You do an imagination of a fight. You imagine the area. You imagine how you place things. So we are doing the definition of theater of the mind of rocket launches here.
Oh, we do. We are actually going to maybe see a launch happen. I don't know if we'll see it, but SpaceX did just tweet, so we do have confirmation at least that they are going for it.
Oh my goodness! Look at that!
Oh, look at that! We can see a rocket almost. We can.
You can barely see the rocket.
From
good,
their
though.
own launch pad. I think that's quite telling. Wow. It is a little bit foggy in case none of you have noticed.
It's kind of beautiful though, honestly. It's got some Blade Runner-y type vibes. I'm here for it.
Yeah, and one thing that I will note though, for those watching live and recorded or whatever, yes, they went live, but before they switched to the pad cameras and everything out of the intro music and whatnot, don't be too assured that they are still on track, because sometimes they forget about these things and they have automated these Starlink streams, their coverage of these missions. And so the webcast goes live automatically. And so, it's been more than once where they forgot to change the date and the time of when that live stream goes live, and then they went live and they were actually not even ready for launch at all. So yeah.
All right, well,
But
hopefully
of course now it's confirmed, I should say.
the Strongback at this point will be retracting to begin to get out of the way of those Merlin engines at liftoff.
It's funny that even that cannot be seen on the SpaceX stream.
I mean, we saw the Falcon 9 on the pad. That's something. That's that, we saw the rocket. The poll is still going, and Orange Glow is holding steady at what we will see for 63%.
Hey,
I don't
D and
know- I don't
Max,
know,
good
chat.
luck with tracking.
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
so ready. I've got the behind the scenes cameras set up to really capture this one. I'm very I'm prepared. All my cameras are rolling for
Yeah.
whatever.
At 2 minutes and change to go, I guess we'll let you go and do camera stuff. I mean, this
I'll
is
stay
gonna
on.
be this is gonna be really important. So no, we'll let you go so you can devote all of your effort to capturing some amazing imagery of this launch.
I appreciate that. I will focus on some slow-mo then.
No, you can
I
hang
will
out if you
also-
want.
It's
I will also-
for Orange Glow.
I will also leave here to focus on the socials to really give you the best updates on X about everything that is happening here. And shout out to all other socials. So if you like Facebook or Instagram and everything, they are also always giving you updates about launches. So I'm also out here and will be talking to you after the launch.
Bye. Alex, we're at 2
Stage 2
minutes
launch photos
and or under 2 minutes. Normally, we would be able to see a similar vent to the 20-minute vent right now, the 2-minute vent. But
Yep.
again, fog. But what's going on with that? Same kind of deal, right?
Yeah, they have just wrapped up leg reduction load on the second stage. Falcon 9 is fully loaded with propellants ahead of that liftoff, hopefully 90 seconds from now. And so one of the things that they're doing right now is all of the ground systems and everything are venting and purging and everything. Gas closeouts to secure them ahead of the liftoff. That's one of the callouts precisely about that process, where it's just getting rid of all of the high pressure stuff and all of the liquid oxygen and stuff on the lines and everything.
Nice. Here we go. Minute to go.
Yeah.
Falcon 9 will enter startup, where its onboard computers take control of the launch sequence. I feel really bad. There's like 3,000 people watching right now. We're probably
9
not
is
going
the
to see
startup.
much. But, we're hanging out. Like Adrian said, theater of the mind. Rockets of the mind. And you can see D is definitely still trying with a variety of cameras. So rest assured,
I
if
have
there's
4
anything you
cameras up
see-
for this launch.
If there's anything visible, it will be on our cameras. But here we go. We're under 30 seconds. I believe we heard the LD give a go for launch.
Yep.
So let's see. We've been waiting to see what we will be able to view, given the foggy, misty, whatever you want to call it, conditions. We're about to find out in about 5 seconds here.
Woo!
Hey, orange glow.
Look at that.
Yeah. I was not anticipating the orange glow. Hey, that's cool.
Well, it did lift off.
There it goes.
Wow, look at that on the SpaceX stream. It worked as a filter. The audio.
Let's listen. Wow, D actually found it. I don't want to talk over this though. Let's keep listening for a second. Fantastic audio. You can see the exhaust plume, I always say this, expanding as the vehicle ascends into thinner and thinner atmosphere, and you just heard the call out for MVAC chill starting, which means the second stage engine is chilling down. D, I don't know how you found that thing pop out through the fog.
That was amazing.
That was pretty great. The sound, holy cow. Womp Womp in chat says, gorgeous shots out of Fort Pierce. I'm glad some people could see it. You can really see the engines gimbling right there. Look at that.
Yep. You can also see the venting from the MVAC engine chill. They have lines that go out to the interstage to dump that. Because otherwise it will be dumping. To the left, you can see there above the grid fin.
Yep.
Yeah. Because otherwise the MVAC engine chill will just be dumped into the interstage, so that's why they have these lines. And now at stage separation, you'll see those lines pop out. Let's watch.
Confirmed.
See, it's connected there, and now, boop.
Beep.
Beep. And
I miss the
there's
stiffener
ignition.
ring. I love the shot of the second stage through the interstage. That's gnarly.
And now all of those lines are like flapping around and everything inside of the interstage. I always love that.
Grid fins extending as they get roasted by that plume from the second stage.
And now, one of the important things, fairing separation, one of these fairing halves has flown for 24 times. And that's a record as far as we know.
Confirmed.
Here we go. Fairing sep. Whee! There they go.
Bye. Dog is going to be recovering those.
It almost sounded like you said dog is going to be recovering those. I bet you I bet you Leica would be a good fairing recovery dog.
That should be some kind of sound effect. Fairing sap. Wee!
Whee!
Wee!
I just watched the Smarter Everyday video, the series that he's starting about nuclear energy. And
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He describes fast neutrons by
Fast neutrons.
The whole video, he just says "wee," and I think
all you hear is just wee, 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 wee.
Yeah. I think that might have infected my brain a little bit. Really great video though. As a lifelong nuclear wonk, in the same way that I'm a rocket nerd, I'm super excited for that series. Hey, look, stage 2 is piling on the velocity, while stage 1 is around apogee finally, and is going to start falling back to Earth. Neat.
I keep saying this multiple times. It's very sus that the apogee of the booster is usually around 420.
Why is that sus?
Do I have to explain it to you, Jack?
If anything, it's the opposite of sus. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, it makes sense. It's SpaceX after all.
Yeah, it's the highest point in the booster's trajectory.
Correct.
I love the fact that there's a message in the back channel from Carson saying replace in work. I mean,
hey, I'm curious what the other we only saw the wide view and this track after D found by some miracle the rocket in between the fog. I want to find out what else our cameras captured. I'm now curious. So
I actually just finished exposing for a long exposure, and it's, I guess, underwhelming, but it's still something.
It's orange.
Is it whelming?
It literally is orange, actually.
Is it at least whelming?
Woo! Look at
It's something.
Ooh.
on the booster
wow.
camera, the limb of the Earth.
Wow.
Shows you how close we were to any jellyfish territory.
If only.
If only.
No, that would have been worse. Imagine we would have known that this was the jellyfish and then fog.
Yeah, Flippers in chat kept saying fogfish.
That's just rude.
Oh.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
Thank
Now
you for
we
that.
will.
For that store purchase, by the way, Flip. I'll show your thing on screen there. There you go. Thanks, Flip.
There goes the introvert.
Woo!
One engine
Wait for the 3. There's the 3.
and 3.
Back down to
Ironically,
1.
ironically, those three are not the ones on the line, but actually the ones perpendicular to that because of how the exhaust interacts with, each engine exhaust interacting with the other.
Huh.
Yeah,
Go figure.
it's like the right and left of us right now is the
Yeah.
engines, right?
And then down to 1 and shut down.
It's basically what we see is almost like a squeeze of the plume of the center engine
Yeah.
that is being like
Yeah.
sandwiched between the two outer engines.
Why does Falcon 9 do an entry burn? Who wants to talk about supersonic retro propulsion?
I can talk about supersonic retro propulsion because
Do it quick, because we're watching the plasma through the grid fins as we get closer to landing. You have
Okay,
until
rocket-
landing.
quick summary. Rocket fast. Rocket doesn't want to be fast, so Rocket slows it down. First reason. Second reason, you can also use the engine exhaust to protect yourself against more entry heating. So basically, you A, slow down, you B, protect yourself. So Rocket fast, Rocket no longer fast after that. That's good.
Stage 1 turns on.
Yep.
That was really good. Alex, take notes.
What?
I'm kidding. Come on. You can't spend an entire stream dissing Vandenberg and not take a couple hits here and there. Come on now. It's only fair.
Ah.
The
Okay.
code, the discount code was Vandencape. You can't go.
Yeah, it's still active.
"Oh,
right,
you can't
Adrian?
do that. I did say it was active for the whole stream. 10% off on store purchases.
So
It is selective. I've not pushed the button yet, chat, but I might push the button
landing
at some
burn.
point.
There's
Watch out for the
landing burn.
deluge.
I'm looking for the drone ship.
Guidance.
I'm looking for the blue water. Oh, look at the
This.
great camera on the drone ship. That
Stage
water's
1
so
landing
gorgeous.
deploy.
Best camera all day.
And
Solid video. You love to see it.
smooth.
You
Stage 1
love
landing
to see it. All right. There's 1069 back on the Earth. I was going to say solid ground, but that's a drone ship. I'm an idiot. Second stage continuing to pile on velocity. Look at the speed on the bottom right there. It's really hauling the mail.
Should need another 1,000 kilometers per hour, and it'll be in orbit. And
there they go.
Back shut
Bing.
down.
there you go. As usual, the telemetry is a bit ahead of the video. And by the way, speaking of being ahead, it's now in sunlight. But anyways,
Nice. All right.
As
Well,
Alex and me are. We're also in sunlight.
oh yeah, I've been well into the sunlight for a while now.
it's 4:24 a.m. here, so no, I am not in sunlight. If you care.
11:24.
Yep.
What'd you have for breakfast? Some like super German thing like Brötchen?
I wish I didn't have breakfast until the mid of the stream where I decided to drink some water. That's my breakfast and an energy drink.
That's to be clear, that's not what breakfast is.
No, both Alex and me have the problem that we are operating on a time zone that is not optimal for these launches as well.
The pure European breakfast, everybody knows it's a coffee and a cigarette, but
That's fair. Working on replays.
I'm looking forward.
Really quickly, I do want to thank Knock It Off, Flurf24. Thank you for the support. And Jupiter, thank you for becoming a Padrat member. And Turtle Sanctuary, thank you for the super chat to say if only there was another launch today.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
There is.
And RTLS to be even more punching.
Oh God.
Yeah, if we don't see that, it's gonna hurt even more.
Is that from
Yeah,
39A?
Yep.
Yep.
Which, by the way, you cannot see right now.
It would be impressive if it's 140, Jack.
Adrian, I knew it was from 39A. I'm not an idiot, okay? I was just trying to get some what do you want me to do?
Oh,
Do you want me to not prompt conversation as a host? You want a host that doesn't prompt conversation? You want me to do that?
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm tired. But yeah, it's Worldview Legion. My God, Worldview Legion 5-6. I hate that I cannot properly pronounce that, and I'm on that stream.
Worldview Legion 5-6. Chat, you have to get Adrian to say it as many times as possible. You know
as
that,
the,
right?
You know, as Neat Pizza is saying in the back channel, and it is true, we don't even know if the rocket rolled out because we cannot see the pad. We have not been able to see it. I think it's for like the past, 12, 18 hours or so. So, yeah.
Worldview Legion. Getting there.
Worldview.
Chat,
Well-
I mean, again, you just got to get Adrian to say it as many times as possible. Also, work the word squirrel in there several times. That'll be fun.
You just made my whole stream later today very miserable. You know that, right?
Oh, now I feel bad.
Also, by the way,
You don't.
quickly pointing out, we might member stream the other 2 launches that are today, because there's also New Shepard today and an Electron launch, so we might hang out for that. And am I also mentioning the members' writers' room?
Hey, replays.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's orange. Sorry, I just saw a picture from Max.
Well, it's actually white, right? Does it count for the poll if it's white instead of orange?
I mean, that's that's down to white balance.
I love the fact that
we have
he's
audio.
like very happy that the sky is a bit bright. Yeah, it's white.
Wow. You can hear the
I must be
VAB.
hearing the VAB squeal when I'm playing back there.
And you see it, and then you see it, you doofuses. Oh, let's be joyous and high five during a rocket launch.
We need this into your GIF.
It's like high five. Oh, there's the rocket.
The high five conjured the rocket. The camaraderie cleared the fog just enough.
Sorry, that high five moment.
Yeah, no, that was,
dang, there's a rocket.
That was, you can't script that. That was amazing. Pretty dang good. But yeah, Adrian, let's keep watching replays here. Tell us about what were you saying? There's a members writers room now? Question mark. See,
Yeah,
I know
we
about
have
that too, but I'm prompting conversation. It's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, I get it.
Ooh, look at that.
How that works.
This is the close-up.
Oh, we have another angle. That's amazing. That's amazing. I love this. That's perfect.
Can we go back to see the reaction again?
Yeah, seriously, replay the replay, please.
Oh, it's like there's the
High five.
Everything's
Okay, well,
good.
that was-
We're chilling. Oh, look, a rocket. Business mode. Business mode. Business mode.
This is perfect. This is perfect.
The thinking after the high five of being like, well, we done it. It's okay. And then looking back and seeing the rocket. Whoa.
I love
Like,
that.
it's all just complete haha, 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 can't see it, haha. Okay, lock in.
Yeah, like instant. I love how you see
Instant
it both at
lock-in.
the same frame. Like you both react at the exact same moment.
I love how you both look at it, and it takes you just a fraction of a second. Feel like you're looking at it, and then it clicks in your heads. You're like, "Oh crap! I can see it."
It's like
In fairness, I don't think either of us thought we would see anything. Also, in order to actually capture this, my exposure had to be so much higher than it is for any sort of a normal track.
Oh, the happy face of, ooh, we actually saw it.
It's the
did good.
instant
There it
lock
is.
in. Like that's professionals for you.
You did good. That was pretty great. Nice.
And to be fair, that's not that easy, right? To just acquire a rocket mid-air.
No, it's not trivial. Good job, D.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, I'm so glad we saw anything tonight. This went from a conversation of is it worth it, and I'm looking behind me and I cannot see the VAB. I can't see the outline of the VAB. I can see a couple lights towards the base of it. It went from like, is it even worth it, to I have thoroughly enjoyed this stream. It is we got to see a launch and we got to hear a launch, and I'm happy.
So much for the Vandenberg experience.
True.
Like I always say, West Coast, best coast.
That's right, baby.
Clip it.
Said nobody ever.
I said D literally just right now. So you're factually
That wasn't
incorrect.
real.
You're factually incorrect. West
Community
Coast, Best Coast.
knows.
Then
That was
I'm
not real.
Somebody else. I also said it, so still factually incorrect, Max.
Jack Byer's not real.
I am real. People met me. I met the public at the Astro Awards. People can confirm that I'm real.
Who were you?
We have all several people here have touched Jack.
Unfortunately, that is true. I wish it wasn't, but it's true. Please don't touch me. I don't like being touched, if I can be perfectly clear. Thank you, Adrian.
Yeah, but
Oh,
no problem. I'm just giving you the opportunity to prompt again that you don't want to be touched. Anyway, I am writers room, right? We kind of want to give writers the chance to maybe hang out with members during the writing, and also members to help with the fact checking and everything. So, because sometimes creative input, the best thing you can have is like a second person to chime ideas with. So we created yesterday, I think, a writers. It's called. Wait, where is it? There it is.
You're doing great.
NSF members writers room, and it's just a place for writers to hang out if they want to write a script, and then for members to help with that experience and just hang out during that.
Yeah, that should be really cool. It's always nice to sort of just hang out with the members, and yeah, that feedback will be super appreciated as we work on various scripts.
Yes. I will actually use that later today because I have a script I have to finish. I can say this right now. The script has been in work way too long, and if I don't finish it this week, Michael Reed might come to Germany.
As soon as you send me the script, I'm going to send it back and say, not good enough.
Oh, please don't.
Not good enough. Not doing it. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, nope. I'm not even gonna give you like a read. I'm just gonna respond and say nope.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you too.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for a particularly wacky, foggy launch. Oh, Alex.
Yeah.
You want to plug this? Plug your thing.
yeah, it's time for me to plug something. And this is our next episode of Europe's Future in Space. It's a live stream with another CEO of a European company. This is Sen. It's one of these companies from Europe. And this one in particular is based in London, and they are having cameras in space. And we're going to be chatting with Charles Black, the CEO of the company. And we're going to have a lot of questions that you can also ask in chat. And also, I also have a bunch of other questions. Dee even has a lot of other questions because this is about cameras in space. They have a 4K stream from the ISS. So we're going to chat all about that and a lot of the future plans that they have. This is the third episode of the series with more to come really soon. Lots of different companies that we're queuing for the rest of the year. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this series. I'm glad we're doing it. So props. Also, thank you, Alex, for being on stream with us tonight.
It's been a pleasure as always to remind you that Vandenberg is still more foggy than the Cape. We saw the rocket.
Adrian, thanks for being on also and setting up that discount code, which is going to be active until the end of the stream. So maybe if you have a store cart, you want to use that code as soon as possible.
What's that code again?
Vandencape. Oh, yeah. Oh God. I said it thinking like, ooh, I'll say you made me say the thing I hate.
Yeah, and that just to be clear, this is not like go crazy, go buy. This is more like there are people here hanging out with us that are probably very, very much deep and hardcore fans of this channel because it's a late night launch with fog. So if you enjoyed this, you probably enjoy a lot what you do. And this is more of like a, hey, maybe you have an open card that you wanted to buy soon anyway, and just enjoy that 10% discount.
Neat. D, thanks for being on, good buddy.
Of course, I had so much more fun this stream than I expected. It is so nice to finally be able to properly stream and even see a West Coast launch, right?
What do you mean properly stream? What does that mean?
Well, I was
Are
out
you
there.
saying
and
I
we
didn't
attempted
properly stream a West Coast? Like,
no. I mean, for
I stream
myself,
West Coast
I've
launches
been
for
out there
years.
for a launch that I have attempted to stream, but we couldn't see it. But this time we got to see it.
Yay. Also, we had Max on. Max, thank you, buddy.
Thank you very much, everyone, for coming to hang out with us. Yeah, that was a bit foggy, but that's just how the ball rolls sometimes. Hopefully, we will see you later on today for another one.
Indeed. Also, we had Carson operating the stream, so thank you to Carson for that. And I'm Jack, and West Coast is the best coast. And I will be taking no rebuttals. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Vandy Cape.
And here we go. We have liftoff.
Propulsion continues to be nominal.
RCPA chamber pressure looks good.
Doubling up. Roger, with planet.
Water towers fly! Yes! Tango down to nominal.
Flight downside SPD off. Say again, SPD off. Off. It's orange!
145! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage. Put that in the big bag, Jingle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
If the methane would be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. Keep that. We don't need any more of these.